Welcome to the game. I'm Russ Cohen. We've got Nikco Riesgo. Nikco, how are you?
Russ Cohen, my man.
And Mike Augello, how are you?
Hello.
All right, so let's get started here. That was good opening, Mike. Mets are losing already, but they're a half game up on the Braves. The NL East is exciting, Nikco, with the Mets and the Braves. I mean, it's going to go down to the end. The Mets and Braves still have a 3-game series in Atlanta that they have to play. And, they had a 10.5 game lead. They lost it. The Braves have been pretty much the hottest team in baseball, or the second hottest team in baseball, the entire second half. They did win last year, so they're a threat. They've got Spencer Strider and Michael Harris II. Either one of them could win Rookie of the Year. So this is a great race.
It is an awesome race. It's the greatest race the Mets have seen in a long time, and it's great for Mets fans, and we love it. Will they hold on and win that title? It doesn't really matter. We don't really care. They're in it, okay? Will they win?
No, it does matter. Hold on. No, it does matter because if the Mets don't take the division, then they're going to play
Milwaukee.
Yeah, well, if Milwaukee gets in, I mean, they're two games out.
Right now it would be San Diego.
I mean, San Diego is not a walk in the park, and then they'd have to play the Dodgers.
They're going to have to play the Dodgers anyway, is what I'm trying to say, where it doesn't matter.
Hold on.
Winning or you're in it. Your focus is that World Series, not this number one of the East right now, okay?
But you want to set your rotation.
You got to be ready.
Nikco,
you want to set your rotation.
Yes, exactly. And if you have to play
listen, if you can win the championship, of course, I'm not saying don't win the championship. Come on now. What I'm saying is it doesn't matter. They're in. They're in right now. Phillies are the one that's trying to get in right now. So it's a 3-way challenge in this East right here. That's how great this East is this year. I don't think I've ever seen 3 teams in the East in the playoffs. How long has it been?
It's been a while, but they also added an extra playoff round. What were you going to say, Mike?
Well, the thing
extra
is
playoff
here,
team, I should say.
The thing is here, as you were saying, is setting your rotation. And if you're the Mets and you have to pitch deGrom and Scherzer in games 1 and 2 against the Padres, even if you win, then you're starting your best of 5 or best of 7, whatever the next round is, with Chris Bassett. And Bassett, I think is a good pitcher, but he got bombed by the Cubs a couple nights ago. It's not like starting with Scherzer or deGrom. So you handicap yourself right off the bat, and you've got to go balls out to win the division. And if you don't win the division, then I think you're in trouble. I mean, I'm not saying they can't win, but I think it's much easier if you win the NL East.
Yeah, I think that is the game plan. I understand what Nikco is saying, like, hey, they're in it. That's great. Met fans are happy that they're in it, but the Mets lineup has been sputtering. The trade deadline, like I said, wasn't very good. Darren Ruff has done nothing. Vogelbach, a little more than nothing. So that DH spot has been pretty much dead, like I said it would be this year. And so they still haven't, after Pete Alonso in that lineup, it gets a little shaky. It depends, how they go. Right now they have McNeil hitting third. Sometimes they were having him hit fifth, but not long enough to see if he could actually fill that role. So, from like 6, 7, 8, 9, it gets a little sketchy. I mean, if Escobar is not hitting, right now he is, but if he's not hitting, there's not a lot going on there. James McCann is awful, and so the Mets, you have to get to Diaz in the bullpen, who right now has been great, and they have a good bullpen, but the starters are good. I would just like to see him set. Now, Nikco, you talked about the Phillies. What's interesting about the Phillies is they're almost reliant now on Zach Wheeler coming back, and they have a little bit of a lead, but Zach Wheeler coming back and Noah Syndergaard pitching well, but Noah Syndergaard is not the same. His velocity looks to be like 3 or 4 miles per hour down, and he just hasn't learned enough pitches. Like sometimes he can't even get out of the 5th inning.
You're right. He is not the Thor anymore. He is Noah Syndergaard. So he has lost his powers, his superpowers. I have no idea where they went. They went somewhere in his rehab with the Mets, because the Mets never really got the Thor out of him that he really is. And I'd love to see it. Please grow that hair as long as you can, because I need to see him come out, especially the Phillies this year. It's a chance they need him to step up.
And Philadelphia got Loki is what they got.
Yeah, but Loki's evil. Noah Syndergaard's not evil. The other thing that's been tough for Philly is, with Bryce Harper not being able to play the field, that has hurt them all year. He's great. He's going to get surgery the minute the year ends. The weird thing is Schwarber. He started off great, and he's not been very good in the second half. He's still hitting homers, but he's not doing much else. And they're going to have to get more out of him. They're going to have to hope that Ranger Suarez is for real. Their bullpen is not settled. The Phillies might make the playoffs, and they look like they're going to. But the Brewers are really on their heels. They're on the Padres' heels. And, one more hiccup, and the Phillies could have a problem. So, we'll see how that goes down the stretch. There's 20 games left. So, yeah, this is a good race. And it's anything but guaranteed. Like, nobody has, other than the Dodgers. So far, the Dodgers are the only team in the NL that clinched, I think. So.
Yeah, the Dodgers are the only one that have clinched, and the next one. We know the Mets and Atlanta are in. It's just the question of who finished first or second. I just look at it right now. Whoever the third team in the wild card race is going to be a team that's remarkably flawed. I mean, you have San Diego right now, who they're not getting great production out of Soto after the trade. Their rotation in my mind is sort of underwhelmed, even though they have a lot of talent there. Milwaukee, they trade their closer, their in Hader, to San Diego. The closer that they brought in Rogers has not really done well since he's gotten to Milwaukee, but they're piecing together wins and they're staying close. I mean, the thing with
Yelich is back. Yeah, Yelich being back helps a lot.
Well, is he back in spirit, or is he back to is he like the guy who?
No, he's not the guy, but he's in spirit.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like, I mean, you need the 320 hitting Christian Yelich.
Yeah, but they have Adames. Adames hits. They've got guys. I mean, I've watched this team live, and they do have a good hitting lineup. They have decent pitching, like you pointed out. They beat the Cardinals yesterday, which was an impressive win. So, people counted them dead the minute they made that trade and got better for the future, and they've hung in it. I got to give them credit.
Yeah, I mean, they're sticking in the race. The team that I think is sort of flawed, and you pointed it out, is Philadelphia. I mean, you've got Nola, but Wheeler's. I mean, right now, I mean, I don't know how serious the injury was.
It's not serious. Like he's should be back. He was thrown off a mound, so I think he's back probably early next week or even late weekend. I haven't gotten a real report on that, but so he'll be back. But yeah, their bullpen's still a bit of an adventure. That's another thing. Realmuto's had a great year though. He really has been earning his money. They're good. They're a really good hitting team. Rhys Hoskins not doing great, Mike.
Is that by the way? It's a strength right there. Schwarber is just an amazing thing. You can't even ask, what he's given. I mean, this guy just.
Well, the first half, I don't think the second half's been nearly as good.
No. But I mean, see, he's been consistently, maybe not the home run, but maybe a key hit. And I think coming up time, that's where his Majesty really hobbled their way into the playoff.
Yeah, Schwarber's a valued guy. I mean, he was a big pickup. Can't deny that. I mean, that's for sure. So let's switch to the American League. For a minute, we've got Aaron Judge, 57 homers, Mike, and
correct.
Of course, that now the debate starts on all the shows because Barry Bonds is the all-time home run king, blah blah blah, with a fake number of 73. We're not going to get into the whole Bonds thing, but I don't want it to diminish what Judge is doing because what he's doing is great. There's, it's amazing. Even on ESPN today, I heard them, somebody say, Aaron Judge, he's okay. Like, I really don't think Judge gets his due.
He's okay. Oh boy. I mean,
yeah, I'm serious. That's what he said. The guy's like, yeah, he's all right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess it would be more impressive if a inflated Michelin man like Barry Bonds with a cinder block head hit 73 home runs. Aaron Judge, I mean, unless I'm proven otherwise, he's doing this naturally. He's probably he's definitely gonna break Maris's record. Though I think he's not gonna get 73. He's not gonna break
No.
McGuire's record.
No.
Even Judge said, well, Bonds is the record, but I mean,
he doesn't want to start trouble either.
Right, exactly. He's from Northern California. I guess he was a fan of Bonds when he was with the Giants. So, but really, I think the mark is he going to hit 61 in 154 games? Because Ruth hit 60 in 154 games, and of course Maris got the asterisk. If he hits 61 in 154 games, I think a lot of people are going to say he's the home run champ of all time, and they're going to sort of ignore what McGuire and Bonds did. Baseball won't do that, but I think a lot of people in their hearts will do that.
Yeah, and Hank Greenberg's 58, I think, was in 154 games too, and yeah, and he had 118 walks. Like, we know why he was walked. He was walked because of his nationality back in the day. But still, that's a hell of a mark too. So if he gets past that, I mean, these are some of the all-time greats, Nico. I mean, we have to marvel at Aaron Judge.
Great. I think we talked about Judge when he first came in. You mentioned his struggles in the minor
league.
Yeah. I saw dynamics that I see in myself. When I see him, I see myself. 46 bases in a season, things like that. The speed is not there, but he is a great player. Everything. He's the real. And there's no doubt in my mind, the Yankees need to give up $400 million to keep him. I mean, he is the $400 man.
They're not giving him that much.
They need to. Okay, he deserves it. All right, that will signify. No, he is the best in the game. All right, the only other person who may get $400 million could be Ohtani. Could be on the Yankees, make it $400.
Well, they're not going to have both. No. I do think that what's going to end up happening here. I believe Scherzer's the highest salary at $43 million.
Yeah.
I will bet that Judge gets $40 million plus from $40 million from the Yankees. I don't know if it's going to be 10 years.
It won't be 10 years.
Yeah, it'll be 8. It'll be maybe 8 at the most, and I think he'll take that. Now, I heard Michael Kay this afternoon say that the talk in Boston is that Boston is going to go heavy for Judge, which is the same thing that we heard about. Let's see, how long ago was it? About 20 years ago, about the Red Sox going after Bernie Williams, and what that meant was there was no way that the Yankees were going to lose Bernie Williams to the Boston
But there were
Red
discussions,
Sox.
Mike. Like, Bernie Williams was in a hotel. I remember it.
I'm not saying there weren't discussions.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not saying that there weren't discussions. I'm sure whoever judges it's not Boris, but whoever his agent is, I'm sure he's going to go to different teams and see what.
He's going to go to the Mets too and see what they'll give him. No question.
Sure, but I seriously doubt that if he breaks the home run record and he wins an MVP. Now I don't know if he's going to lead the Yankees to, because that's not up to him. But if he does that, they will get excoriated if they don't pay him. So they will pay him.
Oh, I don't think they're doing it out of shame, Mike. I mean, they're doing it.
No. They'll get this. Okay, Russ, when you have Steve Cohen spending everything that he needs to improve the Mets, and then the Yankees say, oh, well, a couple million, we can't do. We did it with Robin. We couldn't do it with Robinson Cano. We're not going to do it with Aaron Judge. It won't fly. Yankee fans will lose their minds.
Yeah, I know they will, but it won't matter. Nico, I look at it this way. What if Steve Cohen says, hey, I will give you 45 for 9 years? The Yankees aren't paying that.
Yes, they
are.
Yankees
pay that. The Yankees cannot lose Judge to the Mets.
It's possible they could. It's possible. I don't think it's definite, but I think it's possible.
That would be unethical.
Unethical?
No.
Come on.
These are crossing the game rules, almost like we saw the San Diego basically cross. And I think he turned down, $300 million or so?
Who are you talking about? You broke up there.
For the Padres, the young superstar.
Soto.
Oh, Soto.
No, he turned down
money.
He turned down $28 million for 15 15 years. It wasn't a high AAV. It was long term.
Total
So,
amount.
and he's 24 years old. We're talking about. See, that's the thing. The term with anybody is going to be limited based on Judge's age, and teams will learn a lesson from what happened with Albert Pujols and the Angels. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yep.
I thought you.
So
we lose.
what's the
Go ahead.
total they offered?
Say that again, Nico.
The total amount that they've offered him.
Total amount was 28 times 15, so 280. It was over three. It was like 330 something.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Now you're violating ethics and the rules of the game behind.
How? How are you violating ethics?
Does Judge not want to get into those with the Mets? Okay, so the only thing Cohen is doing with that type of is basically strangling the Yankees. And if he wants to have, why don't he just give him $500 million and really strangle?
He will if he wants to, but I don't think he's going to do that.
No,
it's the $500 million.
Nico, that's the thing about baseball is there's no salary cap. Stephen Cohen has money. He can spend as much of it as he wants to.
But the Yankees are not going to let him have it.
But is Sandy Alderson going to let him, Russ?
Yeah, I think if there's the right player, I think there's nothing Sandy can do. I think Sandy did have too much of an impact at the deadline.
It's not that the Mets need. Judge is not him. Okay, the Mets need speed.
No, they have enough speed now. Actually the Mets do need an outfielder. They do need another outfielder.
They need 2 or 3 deGroms.
So see,
there's not 2 or 3 deGroms in the history of baseball, Nico. Will you stop?
Right. Soto would have been a Soto would have been a perfect fit for the Mets in the sense that they need a left-handed power hitter to counterbalance Alonso. And I don't know if that guy. And now, honestly, Russ, you know who would be the perfect fit for them is Ohtani in a year. Make the trade.
He would. And Epler was a GM there, but again.
And he tried to get Ohtani from the Yankees. The Yankees.
Yeah, so right. It was for the Yankees. Sorry. I don't know. I don't know if that's going to happen, but if they don't go after Judge, sure. I think Ohtani is on the
Ohtani
is the playbook.
Mets. Ohtani is the better fit for the Mets. I'm making that decision for Call me, Mr. Cohen. Your call. I would love to be your advisor, even helping Epler on the team. Not sign Judge, not go after anybody other than give him everything you got.
I hope when he calls you, your phone's not breaking up like it is now. See if you can get a better spot. But talking about Ohtani, it is amazing what he does. I don't know if it's impossible that the Angels don't keep him. I think if the Angels sell, if Artie Moreno sells, if he likes it there, he might stay because Trout's there for a number of years. And if they do get a competent front office going there, they could get a team going. They're not that far off. I know everybody wants to dump on the Angels, but I don't think they're that bad. I just think right now this is just another one of those years that broke down.
No, I think they're an incompetent organization. I mean, they waste money. They waste more money than the Red Sox.
Right. They need a competent front office. That's what they need.
Right. But the problem is, it's like they're so weighed down. Like they have the Anthony Rendon contract. That's a boat anchor because the guy hasn't been able to stay healthy since they got him. Trout now. All evidence to the contrary, the talk was when he went on the IL with this back issue that he was not going to essentially be the same, and then he hit 7 home runs in 7 straight games, a home run in 7 straight games. So if he can keep that up, then I don't think they're. But they've had the best player in baseball for 5, 6, 7 years, and they haven't sniffed the playoffs.
Listen, it happens. Like, Hank Aaron with the Braves, they didn't make the playoffs a lot. I mean, it does happen, but I still won't say it's impossible that Ohtani stays there.
I think he's going to go. And this is the thing. If it was Artie Moreno, he'd say, here, I'll open up the checkbook and name your price. the new owner, there's no guarantee that that's going to be the case, and
True.
that team's going to be sold before his contract is up because he's got another year. I think in the winter, there's a possibility he gets traded because I don't think they're going to
They're
risk
not going to let
if
him walk.
Right, exactly. So I think, that'll be the name that is out there. And then if the Mets want him or whatever organization wants him, they're going to have to probably trade 2 or 3 of their best prospects to get him. And, maybe teams don't want to do that, but that's the price of poker.
Yeah, I mean, that is. Going back to something Nico said, Jacob deGrom did set a record that was like 113 years old. And that was, and I forget the pitcher's name, but he had 39 straight starts. So 39 consecutive starts or fewer runs. It's just really unbelievable. He has actually he's got 13 games now with 10 strikeouts and no walks. And Tom Seaver had 10. So it's really unbelievable what deGrom does. And that's why, Nico, that's why I say to you, there really is no other Jacob deGrom in baseball. There isn't.
There isn't, and you see, he hasn't even done this in a full. Look at last year and this year. Now you can say, "Oh, I want to see him in a full season. I want to see him win a world championship."
Well, he's had full seasons, yeah. And winning a world championship would be great. He's had full seasons, just not in the last few.
We're talking perfection capacity. deGrom is at the highest level he can go. I can't even imagine any pitcher in the history of the game. I've never seen anyone on this run.
No, I mean, it's true. Other than Seaver early in his career, he was similar. Koufax was definitely on this kind of run. Except, deGrom is like a .55 whip for the last couple of years, which even Koufax didn't do, which
we've only seen this kind of dominance in spurts, like Mike Scott for a year or two, or Hershiser for a year or two, or Guidry for a year or two. I mean, this is like you said, Koufax. Even Koufax at the beginning of his career was not great.
Was bad.
Then he was bad. And then he found it. deGrom has been fantastic from the very beginning.
He's
better now.
I mean, he won Rookie of the Year. He's thrown faster now than he did 3-4 years ago. It's just, he's gone through a spell of injuries, but like his winning percentage, his strikeout totals, he's striking out like it's crazy. It's like, was it like 13.8 batters per 9 innings? Like it's better than Nolan Ryan. He's 10.8 for his career, which is better than Nolan Ryan.
I'll go on the limb right now, and the other guy I was thinking about was like Tim Lincecum for like a year or two. He was he was dominant. But honestly, okay, deGrom has not won a World Series, but how many Cy Youngs has he won? 3?
Yeah,
he's a Hall of Famer. He's a Hall of Famer, right?
Oh, wait, no,
now.
Has he won 2? I think he's won 2. Because I think Scherzer won the others. I think it's 2.
His dominance. I mean, I think maybe he has to do it a year or two more. I think he's a Hall of Famer right now.
Well, I do too, because I think you can go with the shortened career aspect of that, and I think that's fair to say. I do. I don't know. Where do you fall on that, Nico?
He is a Hall of Famer in my eyes. Yes, he's one of the best pitchers. Like I said.
Uh-oh, we lost Nico.
Oh, I'm here. I'm by this concrete. Let me see. Is this better?
Yep.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, it's 2, Mike. He was up for it in 2020 also, but he won in 18-19. He won the 2 consecutive.
Yeah, he's Hall of Famer. He's, like I said, one of the best I've ever seen.
Yeah, so it's fun to see that. It is fun still with like what Mike was talking about with Mike Trout. I mean, the record was 8. He got 7 games in a row, and this is after like almost getting a horrific diagnosis on his back. We're seeing Ohtani, who, again, I wrote an article, Ohtani versus Ruth, as far as where did he stack up pitching-wise and hitting-wise, and there was a lot of similarities, a lot more than I ever thought there would be. Like when Ohtani first came in the league, and they were like, well, he's going to remind you of Ruth or whatever. I was skeptical. I got to say, though, I'm no longer skeptical about Ohtani. He's gotten to be a better pitcher. He's learned more pitches. He's had a really good pitching year. I don't think he'll ever win a Cy Young because I just think it's too hard to do both. But He's a top 10 pitcher in the American League. I think that's fair to say.
Yeah, he's either the number 1 or 2 starter on the Angels, and he's got 30 home runs. It's
Right.
amazing. It's amazing. But the thing here is, because there's still this debate. I don't think it's really a debate. I think if Judge breaks the record, he's the MVP. There's
No,
no
if he breaks the
doubt in
record, he'll win the MVP.
right. So,
But Ohtani will garner a lot of votes, though. He will.
Ohtani will be in the MVP race every year if he's continuing to pitch like he is and be as good of a hitter as he is. But I think that's just the reality. But you have to make an exception when somebody hits 60 home runs and could win the Triple Crown. He's hitting Judge is hitting 310 right now, and the batting leader I think is 318 or 319. So it's not out of the realm of possibility that he catches up and wins the Triple Crown for the first time since Cabrera a few years ago.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. Yeah, see, the Triple Crown in the National League's harder. Ducky Medwick, that's like 1954 or something.
No, 37.
37, thank you. It's crazy. He was a Cardinal, right? I mean, it's just...
that was the year that they were in the World Series and Tiger fans were throwing glass bottles at him in the outfield.
Yeah. I mean, it really is. It's hard to win the Triple Crown. I will say this though, that Jeff McNeil is getting close to the batting title. A couple weeks ago, I was noticing he was gaining some ground, and Goldschmidt's cooled off a little, and Freeman's cooled off a little. But like a few days ago, Francisco Lindor said he would buy a car for Jeff McNeil if he won the batting title. And since then, he's been like 20. He's raised his average like 15 points or something. He's had like a 390 average for the last 29 games.
What Lindor didn't say is he'll buy him a Ford Festiva.
I don't think he can, though. See, that's the funny thing. It's like you're in the New York market. You're not going to be able to get away with that because otherwise he'd get killed in the press. So it'll be interesting to see if McNeil can do it because he's one of those guys that, hasn't hit big in a contract yet. Last thing, I liked what I heard yesterday, Nico. Once upon a time, we did a great show with Rawlings for their Gold Glove Award that they do every year, and now they're going to add a utility player to that, and I think that's great. I think there's a lot of guys now like Justin Turner and Luis Guillorme and guys that move around and play a lot of different positions. They don't just play one position anymore. That are great fielders, and I think it's nice to give them a Gold Glove if they deserve it.
I love it. You know what? And like I said, someone like myself coming up playing, I actually have played over 7 positions professionally. So that would be something that I would cherish. I would cherish that as a utility man because those skills have been worked hours and hours and hundreds of thousands of hours and millions of hours on each position. So you got to look at what
millions of hours.
Second baseman that's come up. He's been a second baseman. Breakthrough fire in right field, and it's turned out because of his skills, he's able to transfer that over to right field, and now he's throwing guys out of play, accuracy. He's got to be that right fielder of the future.
Who are we talking about, Nico?
You're breaking up
there.
Is it Oswaldo Cabrera? Is that his name?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Honestly, he is a infielder. He's been playing right fielder in right field, and he made an unbelievable catch tonight at Fenway. I mean, he's been fantastic. I mean, I don't know. I'm sure they're going to have specifications on like what qualifies as a utility player. Like if a guy plays 3 positions or 4 positions. I mean, you could make a case even though he starts probably starts a different position every day. That DJ LeMahieu, who's been a Gold Glover before, but he's playing first, second, and third.
I think if you play 3 positions in a year it doesn't even have to be a specified amount of time. If you played 3 different positions, not counting like pitcher if you get just chucked in there, but you played like 5-10 games at each one, whatever, and you play 2 main ones, I think that's a utility guy.
Right.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree.
I love it.
I like it. All right.
How about the new rule? Time for the new rules?
Yes. Yeah. So what do you? I'll tell you, I hate the big bag because Nico, if you're running down first base, you now can cut the bag and cut your time, especially if you're a lefty, to beat out a throw or beat out a double play or get an infield hit. I get that it might save injuries. I don't like the big bag. I don't know what you guys feel on that.
I don't like a big bag either. Don't change the bag. I mean, I don't, just it is what it is. You got to run through the base. And that company don't want to change.
Yeah, I mean, I'm neither here nor there with it. I get your point, Russ, and they have said that it's gonna, it'll help the runners, trying to steal second base because it'll
you can grab onto the edge.
Right. So there are aspects. I love the pitch clock because I want the games to be quicker, and I've seen the pitch clock be used in AAA, and it does help. There are a whole lot of different rules in terms of like when the pitch clock starts. It's when the pitcher puts his foot on the rubber. So it's like I'm sure it's it's not going to be as quick as people want it. The one I have I'm a little skeptical on, and I'm against the shift, but when I heard it discussed that, yeah, okay, so now you can't have a shift where three guys are on one side. At most you can have the second baseman, parallel to the bag, but that's about it. You have to have two guys to the left, two guys to the right. But now what they're talking about doing is for a left-handed batter, they're going to move the left fielder to short field. They're going to basically put, shift three outfielders and have one playing shallow because that's not against the rules.
Yeah, that's fine. But you know what? I think that's harder to do than what they're doing with the infield because now you're asking an outfielder to be an infielder. That's something they're really not used to doing. I think infielders can play anywhere. So I don't know if that's going to be a help. I'll tell you the one thing that got me sad, and then you guys could comment. We didn't hear anything about the ghost runner, so I think that's staying.
Oh, fudge.
I love it. It's really adds some dynamics to the game. All right, forget the home run derby, forget all that. Instant dynamics. That man on second base is an immediate threat.
I hate it.
I fucking hate it. I'm sorry. It's an abomination.
Put the man on third. How about that?
No, how about nobody? How about nobody on base?
We need action. We need scoring. There's no better way to score than
draw a walk like the old days.
Yeah, like hit.
Who else is going to score?
Like hit a home run. How about that?
Hit a home run, draw a walk,
steal a base,
bunt for a base hit, steal a base, move a runner. Yeah. Like that's what you do when the game gets tight. Come on, Nico, you're getting soft.
You want to go 18 innings? It's gonna go.
You're getting soft.
Russ, it's all about the 18 innings and the 24 innings and the 34 innings. There's got to be some type of threat right on your neck as soon as you start that extra inning, or it could last 2 or 3 days.
I get that, but to me, it should still be the way. That's the way baseball is. Otherwise, what I'm seeing is, well, this team, let's just any fictitious team, they get up and there's a guy on second and they score 2 runs. And then the other team scores 3 runs. But in a regular extra inning game, none of these manufactured runs would happen except for the one run that usually wins it.
How about the bases loaded? That would really get.
No, these are all manufactured phony runs. It's all manufactured.
Listen, the fans would love it. You score 2 out of the 3 runs, or you score 3 of the 4, or grand slam.
Why don't we just pitch underhand to the guys too, Nico? You want to just do that?
Put a man on second base. Load the bases because you're taking care of that inning number 12, 13, 14. We're still seeing some games going 14, 15 inning games now. We're seeing some dynamics here, and you're tying it up in the bottom of the 12th.
We'll just let them hit off a tee. We'll just put a tee out there in the 10th inning and just say, hey, you could just hit it off the tee. You don't even have to get pitched to anymore.
In the 10th inning, and that will decide the game. I guarantee you the game will be over in the 10th inning. Pretty much 80% of the time.
Right, but you're bastardizing the game. You're
over. The point is the game is over, and both teams have a chance to bring in 3 runs. How many times in one at bat can you bring in 3 runs? That's exciting.
Yeah, I think you've lost it. Anyhow, that's it for the game. We'll catch everybody next time.
My man.
Bye.